Well, there is good and bad 49ers injury news exiting their shutout win over the Saints and entering their showdown against the Miami Dolphins. And we'll start with the bad news first. Running back Elijah Mitchell will indeed be out for a longer period of time. He has another MCL sprain, his second of this season, separate from the first one. He was fully healed from the first one. That one caused him to miss a couple months. Now, Elijah Mitchell, the timetable is the same as the first MCL sprain. 6 to 8 weeks, he's out. The 49ers initially, after their win over the Saints, had hoped that this would be a less severe MCL sprain. Elijah Mitchell actually stayed in the game for a couple plays on it before he realized that he was hurt. He was dejected, shown by television cameras on the bench Sunday, and he's now going to be out for about a couple months. Now, the potential silver lining here for the 49ers is that 6 to 8 weeks is still within the course of this season if the playoffs are counted. In fact, if Elijah Mitchell is able to come back in 6 weeks, he would be back for the wild card round of the playoffs. If the timetable takes the full 8 weeks, that would line up with the NFC Championship game. And who knows? Maybe the 49ers could really use a boost of fresh legs in time for one of those playoff games. So it's not all over for Elijah Mitchell yet. I would think that the 49ers would put him on injured reserve. They still have 2 activations left for injured reserve. You have 8 of those this year under the new rules. So if they put Elijah Mitchell on IR, he could be one of their 2 activations coming back. Of course, if Javon Kinlaw comes back from IR, he would use up one of those 2. So the 49ers have to decide what to do with Elijah Mitchell. If Kinlaw does indeed get one of the activations, there'd only be 1 left for Elijah. So the 49ers have to be prudent with that. But only 6 regular season games remaining. So this is tough news for the 49ers. We talk about Elijah Mitchell and who replaces him. Well, it's Jordan Mason's time. This is one thing to absolutely remember. A lot of people are all up in arms about the fact that the 49ers traded Jeff Wilson. And they're saying, why did you trade Jeff Wilson? Because you might need him now. Well, the best 49ers running back yesterday was Jordan Mason. He came in there to salt the game away, and he averaged 5 yards per carry. Christian McCaffrey struggled to run yesterday. Elijah Mitchell obviously ran well. It's a tough loss. But Jordan Mason didn't struggle to run yesterday to ice that game for the 49ers. And he was running hard. He was running violently. And he is the next up on the pecking order. The team obviously also has Tevin Coleman on the practice squad and Ty Davis-Price. But it's Mason who's next on the pecking order behind Christian McCaffrey, who got some good news. The 49ers here probably can exhale. Christian McCaffrey is dealing with some knee irritation, but Kyle Shanahan said that he's just going to be evaluated throughout the week, and it sounds like Christian McCaffrey will be trending toward playing against Miami. So the running back room, and I'll show it here in a bit on the depth chart, we're going to start with Christian McCaffrey, and then you move down to Jordan Mason, and then you got Ty Davis-Price and Tevin Coleman. Coleman probably higher on the pecking order than Ty Davis-Price. More good news for the 49ers here after the bad news to start things. No major injuries for Jimmy Garoppolo. Of course, an MCL sprain had also been feared there after the dirty hit to his knee, but Garoppolo just sore today. No structural damage to anything. And that, of course, is a massive exhale for the 49ers. Beyond that, Arik Armstead might return this week. He was back at practice on Friday, but a full week of practice is possible. As Shanahan said, that Armstead had a great workout on Sunday, and that Armstead is expected back at practice on Wednesday. If Arik gets a full week of practice, you can expect him to play in the game on Sunday, and that could be a massive boost for the 49ers defensive line against the best pass offense in football in Miami. I have opined several times that Arik Armstead might be worth more than 10 sacks per season, not because he generates the sacks himself, but because he sets the table for others. He's like a big snowplow rushing up the middle, takes up several blockers, right? Allows Nick Bosa and company to operate on islands on the edge, and that's invaluable to the 49ers. Finally, Spencer Burford has a low ankle sprain, but this also sounds like good news for the 49ers. It doesn't sound like he'll be out over the long, if at all. So they might get him back right away. But of course, at right guard, the 49ers can just rely on the second person in that timeshare, Daniel Brunskill, has been holding on the fort there well whenever he has swapped with Spencer Burford during these games. If you want a visual look at this, here you go. Here's the 49ers depth chart. Let's make some of these changes right now. Elijah Mitchell, another MCL sprain at 6 to 8 weeks. Now, we're not sure if they're going to put him on IR, but why don't we put him on IR since Kyle Shanahan probably hinted at it today. It was hard to tell in the conference call. You could have a listen. It's posted up on the channel. But we'll move Elijah Mitchell from this running back position back to injured reserve over here on the right side. That will open up a 53-man roster spot for the 49ers. And I'll talk about where they might allocate that 53-man roster spot. But for now, we'll assume Elijah Mitchell is going on IR. That leaves Christian McCaffrey as your top running back, with Jordan Mason now slotting in behind him. So we just move Jordan Mason over. We can clear out the formatting there, give Jordan Mason the rookie color that he deserves, and Ty Davis Price. We'll put Ty Davis Price now as depth 2 with Tevin Coleman in the practice squad, although Ty Davis Price might actually be behind Tevin Coleman in the pecking order. That's what the running back room looks like. Now, Christian McCaffrey with his knee irritation, will give him a pink shade, but obviously we won't move Christian to injured reserve because it does sound like relatively good news for him. No major injuries for Jimmy Garoppolo, so we will keep him in white there. We don't have to shade him in pink. Arik Armstead might return this week, so if you scroll down, you see Armstead in pink down here. That might be removed, but we still have to wait to see. It is Jordan Mason's time. And as I said, Tevin Coleman and Ty Davis Price are also on the 49ers roster. We will, however, shade Spencer Burford in pink. No IR moves expected there, since Spencer Burford has what sounds to be a moderate low ankle sprain, which might not keep him out at all moving forward. But that is the news for the 49ers today. Again, the big news is that Elijah Mitchell's out for longer than the 49ers had hoped. They were crossing their fingers that MCL sprain wasn't as bad as the first one, but it is as bad as the first one. So 6 to 8 weeks. Again, he might be back for the NFC Championship game or the divisional playoffs. That's right within that 6 to 8 week window. Wild card is 6 weeks. NFC title game is 8 weeks from now. And the 49ers might benefit from enjoying fresh legs then, because Elijah Mitchell showed that he had fresh legs when he came back from this first MCL sprain. That's the way that the 49ers have to look at this. They also have some good depth at the running back position, as evidenced by Jordan Mason yesterday. And hey, they can be happy that their quarterback is in one piece after taking that beating against the Saints. All right, that's your 49ers injury update. Be sure to check out Kyle Shanahan's conference call. Everybody, thanks for joining. We will talk to you soon.